yes, Kenyans. Tamu sana. I say tamu sana. Yes, tamu sana. Raila Amolo Odinga is clearly and cleverly outwitting the system. The deep state is so much confused that they don't know whether to move right or left or to remain at the center. They are clearly confused simply because they cannot crack this nut called Raila Amolo Odinga. For quite some times now, ladies and gentlemen, the president, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, has been going around the country trying to make some allies and trying to consolidate some support. He has been doing this in broad daylight, ladies and gentlemen. Just about a week ago, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta met Mukisa Kitui in what is believed, or rather, what is known that Mukisa Kitui is soon going to launch his own political party. Then, in the course of this week again, Uhuru Kenyatta met coast governors where we are meant to believe he gave them his blessing to form a coast political party. Yes, we are meant to believe, though it's not been confirmed, that actually Uhuru is the one sponsoring the coast governors, the likes of Kingi, to sponsor a political party for the region. Yes. Then we are also meant to believe that in Ukambani, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is busy consolidating support outside of Kalonzo. The likes of Alfred Mutua, Kivutha Kibwanas, and all the rebels from Ukambani, Uhuru is trying to consolidate them on his side, but not on the side of Kalonzo. So that's what Uhuru Kenyatta has been up to lately. But then there is this big hard nut to crack called Raila Amolo Odinga. That is what is causing the deep state sleepless night on how they can crack this nut. And to crack this nut of Raila Amolo Odinga, you can buy all the leaders allied to him. But how will you crack the ground? How will you crack the ground, ladies and gentlemen? Because as it is now in Kenya, the only politician who has a fanatical support on the ground is not even the president or the deputy president, but Raila Amolo Odinga. In terms of political experience, Raila is the most experienced politician we have today in Kenya. So the system, the president, and the deep state at large is still trying to find a formula of cracking this nut, ladies and gentlemen. We have the newly formed One Kenya Coalition. One Kenya Coalition bringing together Kalonzo, Mudavadi, Wetangula, and Gideon Moi from reliable sources cannot sell outside Raila Amolo Odinga. For example, William Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula, the goodwill they are enjoying on the ground today is all courtesy of Raila Amolo Odinga working with the president. Assuming Raila Amolo Odinga was not working with the president or was not in a handshake with the president, then the way the ground is going to react cannot be fathomed. It's not very clear on the way the ground is going to react. Whether they will brand the duo Wasaliti, cowards or betrayers is not known. And this is one area that is clearly giving the deep state, or rather the system, sleepless nights. They can't just fathom Or rather, they can't just explain how the ground is going to react, assuming Raila Amolo Odinga is not with the president. The ground in Western, the Luya vote. Because all along, ladies and gentlemen, Western Kenya has a very unique voting pattern. And I can tell you, as somebody who has been following politics closely, that the few Jubilee supporters who have all along been supporting Jubilee or other candidates are the ones who have really been excited about Musalia Wetangula being made the president or being endorsed the president. A large chunk, or rather the majority of the Mulembe nation as of now, they are still not very sure of what is happening. And they are waiting to see what is really happening. If you take, for instance, in Busia County, I can tell you folks that in Busia County, for example, it won't be easy to crack that nut in Busia County. So these are the dynamics that are giving the deep state sleepless night on how to deal with Raila Amolo Odinga. And if you go to the coast, or rather the larger coast province, we have seen politicians dumping Raila, or rather joining the system before. We have seen them before. We've seen the likes of Balalas. There have been quite a number of politicians at the coast who are the leading lights, or rather the leading figures. But immediately they dumped Raila, they became irrelevant. And then the issue of the Coast Party that is being formed, the government has always sponsored Coast Party. This is not the first time. In 2017, 2013, there were Coast Parties, Kadu Wasili and the rest. But they never made it much, simply because the ground was a hard nut to crack. Right now, some sources are telling us that Joho is also in that mix, which I really doubt. I really doubt, because Joho maybe cannot make such a political blunder. But at the coast, the biggest problem for the deep state is how they are going to crack the ground, because they can buy the leaders, yes, but the ground is not easy to convince. It will be very hard for the ground to change, because all along at the coast has been one of the marginalized areas in Kenya, just the way as Nyanza has been. And they have suffered in the hands of the government. And anybody trying to bring the government to them without clearly explaining to them what is happening can be a problem. And that is the main reason, ladies and gentlemen, the deep state, as they collect, or rather make allies with these coast leaders, they are doing that knowing fully well that goodwill they are enjoying because Raila is now in a handshake with the president. They know very well that, assuming today Raila was not in a handshake with the president, all these coast leaders you are seeing going to Uhuru Kenyatta, greeting and all these, they will be seen as betrayers, as wasaliti. That one the system knows very well, and they don't know how to crack that nut. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here is where now the confusion arises. Maybe in the thinking of the deep states, they thought they could use Raila to completely finish William Ruto, which they have done simply because William Ruto is not a very strong candidate on the ground. William Ruto, and I've been saying in this platform, has been riding on the support of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Without Uhuru Kenyatta, William Ruto is nothing. So the system wanted an easy way of getting rid of Ruto, which they have easily done using Raila. Now the problem lies here. How can the system get rid of Raila? They are trying to form this thing called Sacred, or rather One Kenya Coalition, but that one cannot sell on the ground. It cannot sell on the ground beyond Mount Kenya. So it simply means that the only vote now this One Kenya Alliance can rely on is only the Mount Kenya votes. These other regions is still shaking. So the problem is, if Raila can manage to pull out, or rather come out with all these voting baskets, and then they maybe unite with somebody, even though Ruto does not have much, with somebody like William Ruto, then it can be catastrophic. There is where the system and the deep state has a big problem. They are trying to find a formula. But as they find this formula, let me tell my friend, or rather my beloved president, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, Ohunye, I'm one of your greatest supporters. But don't make a mistake, or rather don't be cheated into thinking that you can use and dump Raila. I know that's not your intention, and I know you mean well for this country, but don't be cheated to use and dump Raila. That is most likely to be the cause of your downfall, my beloved president. Handshake is a good thing and has brought us peace. Myself here talking, and I've maintained in this platform, that before the handshake, I was one of those people who was being sought after like antelopes. We had to hide everywhere because we were being sought. I'm a living example, ladies and gentlemen. And I just appeal to my president that the noble idea of the handshake you started with Raila Amolo Odinga, pursue it to its logical conclusion. Make sure the country is united and everybody lives together in Kenya as one people. Otherwise, folks, if you've bumped on this video for the very first time, make sure you hit the subscribe button in order to get a notification anytime we upload a new video. Also tap on the notification bell. Otherwise, don't forget to give this video a like. God bless you. God bless Kenya. Tamu sana.